This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield and Chris Goss.
My name is Chris Goss.
No, actually, Chris Goss not with us tonight. It is the 12th of April, 2020. My name is Corey Winfield. Welcome to the 217 Recovery Podcast, and welcome very special guest, I guess, maybe? Anna.
Hi, how are you? Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Anna. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Good little Easter Sunday. And with it being Easter, today was the day, was it 2020 years ago? Around this day? Or no?
What? 2000?
No, that wouldn't have been it, because that would have been no. How old was Jesus when he died? 36?
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that one. I'll have to get back to you.
36 minus, they say around 5 is when they started the years. So, about 2008 years ago, Jesus got up out the tomb. Right? Yes.
Sure.
That's Bible study with Corey and Anna. Thank you.
Yeah, so those are not actual facts. Do not quote us on that. Anyways, today's also my 5-month wedding anniversary.
What? 5
I know,
months.
Right? Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how much can change in such... I mean, 5 months seems like a long time, especially for us in early recovery. But
oh
man,
my gosh, I know.
Can you even imagine in 5 more months what it's going to be like?
That's 5 days sometimes, but no, I look forward to it most definitely. Most days, in general. I mean, yeah, considering a week from today will mark a year that I've been out of treatment, a year that I've been working at the same place that I've been working, and 15 months sober for me.
What would you say is the most... I guess it is echoing a little bit.
Okay, I'll take it.
Sorry.
Hello?
We're working the kinks out of the whole phone thing. But, I mean, it is cool to have you on over the phone, though.
I know, it's been way too long since you and I have been able to do a podcast together.
I know, and once I figured out the phone thing, I'm like, oh, this is sweet. So I'll have to show you how to do that as well, and that way you can have guests on. And Marnie was pretty excited when I was like, yeah, I got to get Anna hooked up with this and show her. And I was like, we might have to make a trip up there to see her. And she's like, oh, cool. She's like, hell yeah, you should text her that right now. I was like, I kind of already did. I didn't text you about, hey, we can come up there and see you, but I texted you about, like, hey, you know.
No, most definitely.
Gotta hook the phone
once this Rona passes.
Yeah, we're talking about that next. But back to your thing, because I was in the shower a minute ago, and I was thinking about how when we were in Bear River, or that Chinese food restaurant, we had made that we were outside the door, outside in that little corner there, and we were talking about doing this kind of thing and doing a podcast, and like, what would you say was the turning point to where you knew that this is something that you wanted to do, as opposed to just talking about it a year ago?
Oh, man. Well, I honestly, when we would talk about it, it was fun, but did I really think it was going to transpire? I'm not saying that I ever doubted that you were going to do something, but I never thought that I would be this involved, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. That day that you asked me to, I was go to UFAM. I was like, heck yeah, let's do this. And then May 30th, when you were like, I want you to start blogging, and I just did it. And honestly, I love my blog. It's huge for me. It's a good outlet for me. I process things through it, and like the reaction that we get from it is absolutely incredible. Like I said, I never would have ever dreamt that it would turn into this.
And what were you most scared of?
Hearing my voice on the radio, sounding like that fear of judgment because it's all about me, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I had any fears except for like when I actually had to talk, and then I started podcasting by myself up here, and that was fearful. Like, shoot, who am I going to talk to? What am I going to talk about? Can you really be funny by yourself? And then I turned it into more serious, but that's what I needed at the time. And set aside that initial fear, I don't really have any today when it comes to that.
Well, the reason why I asked, because I ran into a guy who, you remember this day probably just like I do, very clear, when we went to Recovery Notes. And we got up there, and Rob was hell-bent on, in my opinion, just making it bomb. And maybe he was nervous. I don't know, but it was horrible. And I thought, you know what? It can't get worse than that. So there we go. We got that one out of the way. And I've been on stage where I've embarrassed myself before, not because I was drunk, but just because I'd say something stupid, or I'd try to throw a T-shirt off the stage and it would just land on the end of it wouldn't even make it out to the crowd. I'm just like, oh my God. Just like little things. Like, do people remember that? No, but I do. Because to me, in my mind, it was a failure. Well, the guy the other day, he comes up and he's like, man, you're familiar. I know you. I'm like, I don't think so, man. He's like, no, I know you. Blah, blah, blah. And somehow Recovery Notes got brought up. He's like, yes. He was like, you were up there. I went on right after you guys. He was like, you guys did some kind of like comedy thing or something. I'm like, yeah, something like that. He's like, you don't remember me there?
That's why I didn't say anything.
I was like, I don't.
But yeah, some people don't do well under pressure, I guess.
No, but it's those moments where you have to go, well, we're going to do it. And you know what? We could fail. Okay? And then we're going to learn from that. And you probably know as well as I do that you're going to fail sometimes. And
absolutely,
it's how you look at it and how you learn from it. We had to write a proposal to try to get the 217 recovery rides off the ground. And of course we asked for everything in the world, because my opinion was, well, why not ask for it? All they can say is no. But we learned, like, okay, this is where they want to help. And, they don't want us having private jets or anything. Not that we asked for that, but,
oh, man.
They have restrictions and stuff too. But, and I don't look at it as a failure. I look at it as, okay, well, we learned, and next time we send them a proposal, it'll be more focused and more pointed to where we need to go. So it's those little things. Well, the guy that I was talking to, he wants to start a music recovery kind of thing. He's like, man, music can be a pathway to recovery. Anything can be a pathway to recovery, man. And he was just talking about that fear. And he said that, when he plays this song, he's got some really good songs, I'm not going to lie. And he was playing some of them. One he just wrote about COVID, and it was really good. And he said that when he plays the songs, the other guys just roll their eyes and go, yeah. And when he mentions it to them, or the guys that he sees, and he says, hey, I'm going to do this, they just look at him like, oh, here's another one. Like, yeah, buddy. And there was a few people that did that same thing to me when I got out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to start a podcast and blah, blah, blah. And there's, okay, man. Yeah, okay. And one of the guys we were just talking about earlier, this is just kind of an idiot. But anyway, I just kind of looked at it like, you know what? I know what I can do. I don't need that guy's approval. And whether he's jumping up and down with joy or he's mean mugging me, shaking his head, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that I know what I'm doing. And same thing for you. When you're writing your blog, when you're doing your podcast, it's not going to be like Ellen DeGeneres stuff, you know what? But it's going to be something that you're proud of and something that you put out there. And if it's not perfect, okay, but it will be next time a little bit better. And to just leave that fear at the door, and it's a lot easier said than done, but it would help a lot of people in early recovery, in my opinion.
And anyways, go ahead. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
You go ahead.
Okay. Man, well, all I was going to say is when people want to make you feel bad about trying something new, it's because they're fearful of doing it themselves. And in all honesty, it's an insecurity they project just to be, try to bring down the other guy, because they're jealous or they feel bad about themselves, and it's a shame. I'm huge on advocating for building each other up, and hey, you want to not, you're really struggling to talk about things with a therapist or in groups. I've told them to draw it, draw it, put it into words, read it in poetry. If you can't read it to all of us, turn your back and read it there. Record yourself, play it for your parents, write letters, do what you got to do as long as you get it out and express yourself. I mean, who knows where it'll go.
But my advice on that though, and I learned this from my mom, don't put it in a text message because you can accidentally hit send.
Yeah.
Just leave that alone.
Maybe write it in maybe write it in the notes application on your phone if you're going to go ahead and do that.
I guess my mom, she thought this will really help me vent if I just act like I'm going to post it to them and then just boop, the shit send. And she was like, oh my God. Can you imagine that fear? Oh my God. Yeah, that was good stuff. You
sent your mom something that you weren't supposed to?
Oh, no. This was something that she had sent out to somebody who's now a family member.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I mean, we can laugh about it now, right, Mom? She's yeah. She's
sorry, Mom.
I wonder if she's swearing at me.
She'd be like, Corey Jonathan.
I hate it when you do that. It didn't even happen that way. Like, yeah, it did, Mom. But I'm not going to get into too many details. But we can laugh about it now. I mean, it's a stressful time. I mean, weddings usually are, and oops, did I go? But yeah, it was pretty funny. It wasn't funny
There's
at the time.
There's a lot of things that we can laugh about now that at one point they really weren't funny, and I'm sure there's some things my mom will never find funny. But I know I can laugh about it today.
And
but at the time,
I'm sure my brother and my sister, they can laugh about it now. But yeah, at the time it was not, and it caused some tension, and it was just it was bad. But
bad timing too.
And it's moments like that too that should make you realize, if you're in early recovery, like we are, like those mistakes that we made along the way, they don't have to be enders. They're not the end of the road. Things can get better. You can move on, and time does go on. As long as you're not using, you can wake up tomorrow and keep on keeping on. And things will be. You will be able to laugh at things one day and look back. And a lot of the times when you're drinking and you're doing stupid stuff, I really don't laugh at those times that I had. But they're there, and I don't forget them. And I don't. What do the promises say that you don't? Oh, you don't shut the door on the past. You don't want to forget it. I don't know. I'm I would say I'm real big on the promises, which I am, but yeah, you don't want to forget the past. I'm not going to shut the door on it, but I'm not going to live in it either. So
absolutely,
it's all good.
Acknowledge it, but keep on trying to better yourself, basically. No, I always say, as long as you have oxygen in your lungs and the willingness to do it, then it's not over. And what if? So you got some things you got to take care of, maybe some legal matters. Well, go ahead and pick up that drink again or that drug. That's not going to make it get better. It only makes it worse. Or eventually the word repercussion doesn't have to have a negative meaning. There's good repercussions. There's good outcomes. There's good consequences. Yeah. And if you wait long enough, and not just wait, I mean, you have to be proactive and put some work into it. But good things happen.
They do, and they keep happening at such a alarming rate where you have, like you said, you have to put in the work. You do. And is it work, or is it just you're moving forward? It's not really work. It's you're just taking the steps that you need to take, and it'll become more natural as you go along. I
was just going to say that. I was going to say, in the beginning, it is going to be hard work because